right, good morning. I certainly hope and pray that all is well. I hope you all had a wonderful evening, wonderful night. We'll go ahead and get started. So, when I was little, I used to be babysitters. I told you about sisters who were our babysitters, Lynn and Jan. They would keep us often. Now, this is when I was really, really small. They used to live in a house in East Cleveland. I was about to say around the corner from here. It's not around the corner from here. That's when I lived in my old house. But anyway, they were uh, they were teenagers, but to a little girl, they were adults. And they used to like scary movies and stuff like that. And I used to be really scared of scary movies when I was little. And sometimes I would have, we watch something scary, I would have bad dreams. I remember one time when the movie Alien came out, I just remembered the previews on television. And my dad came to get me and my brother, and he had his girlfriend with him. This was one of his girlfriends that was really nice. I really liked her. Her name was Barbara. She was so nice. She was beautiful. She was really pretty. Anyway, she had her, I don't know, I think that was her niece with her. So my dad was like, we're going to go see Alien. And I just had a fit, because I remember all the scary imagery of the alien on the previews. And I did not want to go see that movie. We went to see that movie, and I was like, I'm not going in there. I sat in the lobby the entire time. But anyway, so I don't know what year was that, 1970 something, honey. But anyway, back to Lynn and Jan. So they knew that I had a fear of movies. As a matter of fact, Lynn used to read a lot, and she had Carrie, the book by Stephen King. But on the cover of the book, it was the picture of her, from the movie where she had the pig's blood on her. And she kept it in the bathroom. And if I went in that bathroom and I saw that book, I would run out, and Lynn would get I would tell her, that book is in there, that book. So Lynn would take the book out of the bathroom. So we would have these, we would go to, if I saw a scary movie or something, I would have a bad dream because I would dream about the movie. Anybody ever did that? I had a dream one time about every time I would watch it, Apocalypse, X-Men, I would dream about that man all night. Let me see if I have any. What this is here. Okay. But anyway, continuing on. It's early. I don't normally come on this early, but we're going to keep on going anyway. Okay. So nevertheless, I'll watch it. Nevertheless, what's to say about the dreams? One time, Jan said to me, because we were about to go to bed, and I don't know, I was squirmish about something. And she said to me, she said, stop. She said, I want you to know that nothing in that movie is real. Nothing. Nothing in those movies are real. It's all makeup, it's all pretend and whatever, whatever, however she explained it to me. I was probably like 5 or something years old, if that old, but I was really small. And I looked at her and said, it's not real. And she said, no, nothing in it is real. Matter of fact, I used to there was way back then, the way TV was, there used to be a commercial for Kiss, that the group, the singing group, they had the makeup and it was sticking out their tongue and the music was all hard and crazy. This was before I started school. That's how young I was. When that commercial would come on, I would run out the room. When she told me that, though, it just like dismantled everything. Okay. And I studied with the Hebrews. They dismantled all of that fear-based stuff. to the point where, like, what was that, Marilyn Manson, that shit used to freak me out and whatnot. But the way they dismantled everything, brought everything down to earth, like, it's none of this shit is real. And but anyway, when she told me that at such a young age, it just was like, okay, so there's no reason to be afraid, no reason to fear anything. And I never had an issue after that, not one. And last night I couldn't sleep. I had some coffee kind of late. I was watching a movie. My energy was real high. The day before, I slept for like hours, hours after I got done working. So I couldn't go to sleep until it's probably about 1:30. So I was gonna do a live, but I was just like, nah, let me, go to just lay here. I'm sure sleep will hit me at some point. It did. But in the interim, hold on. I don't know, was it a full moon last night? Where my bedroom sits, whenever it's a full moon or whatever, it just like shines so bright in my window. And like last night, it was really bright in my window by my bed. And I couldn't see. Usually I can see it, but I couldn't see. It was like around the bend from my window here. And I said, well, it must be a full moon or some shit like that. So in the interim, they were throwing their black magic and shit at me. Some people are, I don't know, maybe all people, I don't know. But I talked about it before. Some people can physically feel these things. So I can. But I did my clearing work, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is a something that these creatures are going to continue to do. And it's kind of sad for them because I'm not really affected by it. So, of course, you hear me talk a lot about dream infiltration, me having that. Well, I think they started working on me with that last night. Not when I went to bed. It was before bedtime, but it was in the evening hours because I feel it physically. I remember there was a girl I used to watch on here. She talked about that sometimes, how she would physically feel when things were being thrown at her, these evil workings were being thrown at her. And so, of course, this is what happened. So here comes the dream infiltration. Now, I'll tell you about it in just a second. I looked up some things. And what's so interesting is this book that I've been reading to you guys, that's the chapter, is called A Dream Sheds Light on Fear. That's the next chapter, okay, which I'll try to read this morning if I don't go too late. But when I wanted to get up last night, because I couldn't sleep, I wanted to talk about something else, but I'm going to save that for a later date because this has come up. So, of course, hold on, let me see if I can find it. So, of course, in the dream infiltration, here comes BreaunaJewellBellamy. Okay. So, did Breonna, for those of you who've been watching, what is yes? Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. What is no? Okay. Thank you. Stop, please. Did BreaunaJewellBellamy do dream infiltration on me last night? Okay. Of course you did. Because, unfortunately, that's who I saw. This is a woman's face I never want to see. That's why with my thumbnails, I always block out her face. Some of that evil, that nasty, and that diabolical. And then pretend, cry victim, and pretend like you try to twist what she's done to me on me. Doing that to her, saying I want her inheritances. This woman can't even speak well. Okay. And when I say that, I don't mean the cadence and whatnot, just that her thought processes are loopy. So I knew that there was at least one other person with her. Did one other person help her with the dream infiltration last night? Okay. Now, up until that point, until I fell asleep, there was continuous movement. All right. And I'm like, here go these motherfuckers. Okay. And saw her in this dream and whatnot. And there was a man there. Okay. And I said, well, when I woke up at one point, I said, well, probably one of her little drug buddies. Okay. Was it one of her little drug buddies that was helping her with the dream infiltration on me last night? Yes, of course. Now, the unfortunate thing about this, then they disappear. Stop, please. Was the drug buddy that assisted her with the dream infiltration last night, Philippe Wheaton. Okay. Yes. And the reason at first I didn't see him in the dream. Then I went back to sleep. Okay. Did anyone else participate in that dream infiltration on me last night with BreaunaJewellBellamy besides Philippe Wheaton? Okay. No. Okay, I figured that. It was just those two. And what's really unfortunate is, again, initially, I didn't see the first dream. There was a man there, but the man that was in the dream was a celebrity. But you know how that goes. So when I went back to sleep, because then when I woke up, I said, oh, probably one of her little drug buddies. But I was thinking a woman. But then when I went back to sleep, I saw who it was. I saw that it was him. And it's very unfortunate what you, sir, well, I ain't gonna call you sir. You know how people do that. What you look like at right now. It wasn't, when you used to do dream infiltration before, you look like yourself. You have not done that in a super duper long time. The way you looked last night in a dream. I don't know what you look like. I haven't seen you in, I don't know, a few years, besides your dream infiltration when you would do it, but it's been a very long time since you've done it. But the spirit of what I did see last night, as far as you are concerned, Philippe, is very, very unfortunate. Okay. But I want to look up something. So I put in witchcraft, what is the purpose of dream infiltration? In witchcraft, the purpose of dream infiltration, also known as dream walking or dream manipulation, is to gain influence and control over another person, often for malicious reasons like torment, manipulation, or to gain power. None of which you will do here. You will never torment me, manipulate me, or gain power over me in any way, shape, or form. But you've been trying to do that for years, BreaunaJewellBellamy. It can also be used for other purposes, such as, now I'm not sure how to pronounce this, and I've never heard of it before, wonderomancy, a form of divination using dreams, or astral travel, although these are different practices that are distinct from dream infiltration. Influence and control, torment and manipulation. A witch can penetrate someone's dreams to cause them fear, distress, or nightmare, none of which you will ever do. Here. You'll never cause me fear, distress, or nightmares. One thing that, for people that this is happening to, one thing that, understand that when people do this to you, it's a dream. Period. And when those young people, that lady who raised me, her family used to do dream infiltration on me with the kicking and beating me up and all the druggy shit and trying to feed me food and I'm throwing it up and all of this type of shit that they would do to me back then. Oh shit, what I want to say about it. I forgot what I want to say about it. It'll come back to me. But nevertheless, you know, you still wake up the next day. or whenever you wake up. And just like Jan told me, it's not real. It's illusion. It's projection. But it's to project an illusion toward you, to manipulate your mind. You don't get up in fear, oh Lord, what is I gonna do? Because they did it a lot back then. I mean, like, there wasn't a week that went by that they were not doing that to me. Okay, for a while. And it would be the most treacherous, disgusting things, like some of which I've talked about, that showed me, oh, these are the problems in your home, these are the problems in your family, the incest, and the pimping their own nieces. I don't know about nephews, okay? I didn't pick up on that, but maybe so, pimping their own nephews out, and cousins engaging with one another sexually, and pretty much, I haven't talked about this online, who and all of that type of thing. All right. And oh, that's what that close relationship was about. Okay. But it at the same that's the what I picked up on, in from them constantly doing it. But again, you get up the next day and you continue to live. You don't allow that to disturb your thinking nor your peace of mind. Okay. And they would use some shit they would do was just really gross. I don't know why they would do such gross shit. Okay, I guess maybe it was supposed to freak me out, but I wasn't engaged in any of it. I was observing because they would pull me into it. Manipulation by changing dreams, which can attempt to influence a person's thoughts, emotions, or waking decisions by shaping their subconscious mind. Okay. But no matter what, you are the God of your being. Okay, you are. You control you. No matter what any outside force tries to do to you, even in that state. And that's the ultimate bullying, because you're in your most vulnerable state when you're asleep. Okay, so that's the ultimate bully right there. All right, it's really disgusting that people do that. I've had a lot of people do dream infiltration on me. I've had people off this app who, do it. Besides BreaunaJewellBellamy, I mean, it's like, bitch, I had a person do it a couple weeks ago. It's like, I watch your videos every now and then, but I don't watch you all the time. Get the fuck away from me. You're on your channel screaming and crying about how ain't shit right with your life. So no, of course it's not. Okay, and can easily fool and people to think that what you're saying is true, that you are some kind of victim. But yet when you do stuff like that, it shows that you're not. You're not a victim of shit. I don't know. You've never talked to you or anything like that, but here you are. Okay. But anyway, by changing dreams, which can, okay, so you don't understand when you have awakened from it. And so there are people who believe that you can control, okay, in your dreams, because again, it is your mind, it is your being that they have entered into. It is your universe, it is your you, that you are God over. You, that they say that you can change what's happening in the dream. That this person has no power over you if they are coming into your world, in your realm, with the purposes of trying to influence you or trying to control you and manipulate you and so on and so forth. They're coming yet and still into your domain. Okay, so there's some people who say, and I'm sure there's somewhere you can find, online or in a book somewhere, on how to control that. Or how to change it, how to push the person out of it. Okay. Like I talked about Urban Alchemistic, she talked about situational awareness. I saw one time in her video, she talked about even in your dreams. Okay, being aware. So even if you don't necessarily know how to do that, to control it or make the person leave or whatever the case, it's still you. So be aware of what's happening. Now, even if that's not the case, because sometimes when it was happening to me way back when I was doing it a lot, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't know that this was the name for dream infiltration or whatever. What did he call dream walking or dream manipulation? But nevertheless, yet and still, even though I would wake up like disturbed, like, that was disgusting, okay, or why they keep doing this, or so after a while I was like, whatever, I got myself ready for the day and went to work and did what I do, lived my life. Okay, you're not going to control shit over here. You're not going to manipulate anything over here. You're not going to manipulate my waking decisions. You don't walk in fear. Perfect love casts out fear. Focus in on you. Love you. Okay. Influencing your thoughts. It's a dream. You wake up. I remember one time Philippe did it a long time ago, a couple years ago. In a dream, he asked me where I was born, and I told him I said New York. This in a dream. Next thing I know, he had like on a suit in a dream. He had some kind of papers, look like like a what do you call it? An architect, when they have their papers or they're drawing their stuff out on, a whole bunch of stuff like that, and they were rolled up somewhere, and he said, "Okay, thank you," and hurried up and walked away. Okay, you're planning something with my information. Okay, what it is, I don't know. It's not going to affect me. Okay, it's not going to move me. It's not going to change me. It's not going to change. It's not my choice. Whatever you're doing, whatever choice you're making, whatever plan and scheme and plot that you got going on over there concerning me and my information is not going to do anything to me. But it most definitely will to you. Okay. So if it is a dream, you treat it just like any other. You ground yourself, you meditate, you pray. If you feel that you have to do all that, if it has moved you and disturbed you, this is what you do with that before you make any kind of decision. Okay? Before you get caught up in your emotions. All right. Okay, and your thoughts. All right. Divination and guidance. One, aromancy. This is a form of divination that uses dreams to predict the future. Okay. Astral projections. Dream work can sometimes be used to achieve altered states of consciousness, such as astral travel. That falls under just the divination and guidance. Other purposes. Communication. It is sometimes used to communicate telepathically with another person while dreaming. Okay, so him doing that, asking me, the thumbs up is gone, asking me, where I was born for whatever his plot, plan, and scheme was, okay, at that time. All right. So he was trying to communicate with what he did, communicate with me in that way. I'm trying to think of anything else. I haven't really had too much of that, asking me questions and all of that type of thing from these people. Just more so, just some old silly ass dream. Okay. I think last night when Bree was in there, I think she did ask me something. I can't remember, but she kept looking, eyes big, like she was looking for something. Okay, looking up at me, like, what's the answer? That type of thing. All right. But the man that was in the dream, the celebrity that was in the dream, was Tyrese Gibson, and he was holding a baby. This was her baby, okay? Because we had a conversation about it was me, her, and another one, but I can't remember who the other woman is. All right. And then he was sitting at a table looking silly and ridiculous holding her baby. Okay. Spiritual warfare. Some believe it is used by malevolent spiritual forces to cause harm, stress, or influence an individual's life, of course. Okay. I guess you could categorize it as nightmare. It is nightmare if somebody's penetrating your world, trying to come in and bother and disturb your peace. Okay. And manipulate and so on and so forth, trying to get information out of you, about you, okay? So they could use it in some of their, like BreaunaJewellBellamy, I'm sure, one of her line as videos, okay, or long as ridiculous posts that make no sense. Important considerations. The concept of dream infiltration is not supported by mainstream science. Well, that don't mean anything. Okay, dream infiltration is considered an advanced and often malicious practice. It is malicious. Okay, and it's also nosy. Mind your fuck business. But dream work in general is used for various purposes. Many cultures and religions have different beliefs about dreams, including their interpretation, meaning, and potential for influence from external forces. Okay, now I have been accused of this. I don't even know how to do the shit. Okay, I'm not going to even look up how to do the shit because I have no interest in your life whatsoever. Okay, in anyone's life outside of my own. So then, besides, well, nobody's life outside of my own. I put it like that. So then, I go back to sleep. And then this is when I realized Philippe was a part of it. Him and his twin were in the dream. But neither person looked anything like the people that I had seen. Okay, them two used to do that shit to me too. I don't know. That's what they do. Okay, they thought it was funny. Okay, the things that they would do in the dream didn't hurt me or anything like that. Okay, just you could tell for them this is just a game that they played. This was a few years back as well. This was just a game that they played, and they've probably done it to a lot of people, probably more women than men. Okay. Because it's very obvious their view of women is low. Okay, by the way they treat them. The women who allow themselves to be treated like that, they don't help the situation. Okay, they don't help the situation. Okay, but they allow. How can I say? They allow themselves to be mistreated. Okay, by these two. Okay, at least in the past, I don't know. I've not been around there in years, yet they continue to come around here. And again, these are people that I've never even talked to outside of working when I worked at that gym. Good morning. And that's about the end of that conversation. All right. Oh, that's what I want to read. Okay, so let me see. Okay. So I was looking up some Bible verses. And the most thing I could find was, because Bible talks a lot about dreams. The most things I could find was about scary dreams. So some Bible verses for it says for bad dreams include Psalms. I'll read them. Okay, they're in the Psalms and Proverbs, which focus on God's protection, peace, and safety according to various sources. Other helpful verses are in Philippians, which advises casting your anxieties on God, and Isaiah 41:10, which promises that God is with you and will help you. Okay, regardless. Okay. I know that there have probably been times people did try to get in and were not able to. Sometimes they are, I say allowed to get in, even if it's just my energy allowing it, because I felt all that shit last night. But I'm like, I'm going to bed. This is not something I'm going to deal with here. Okay, so there you are. Okay, but the good thing is, like when I saw Philippe, it's like, this is a state. This is, I don't know what you physically look like right now, but the energy that I'm seeing is not a positive state. This is the state that you are in at this particular time. And yet you are over here with crazy ass BreaunaJewellBellamy bothering me. Okay. Psalms 4:8, in peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. So when this shit happens, these people do these things, don't worry about it. Psalm 91:5, you shall not be afraid of the terror by night. Okay, so people often talk about Psalms 91. Okay, the terror by night, the arrow that flies by day, or something like that. Okay, perfect love casts out fear. Here, Proverbs 3:24. And it's not even just, a lot of times it can cause you fear, but understand the reasons for it being done. But it doesn't matter. These are outside energies. These people are outside of you. They have nothing to do with you. Nothing. They want to have something to do with you, but they don't have anything to do with you. Okay. Proverbs 3:24. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Psalms 127:2. He grants sleep to those he loves. Okay. Now these are verses for anxiety and fear. Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be. This is the manual here. It's a manual. Don't look at it as like you've been told in church, the holy book, and damn sure no history book and all of that kind of thing. Some instructions to help you on your way. Okay. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God will transcend all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Okay? Don't be anxious for nothing, but with all things by prayer and supplication, make your requests be made known unto God. Make your requests known, or as people say, make your intention, okay, before you go to rest. Even if it's happened, then you must trust and understand that it has been allowed to for a particular reason. Okay, maybe it's to strengthen you, maybe it's for you to see who and what they have become, okay, or what they're after, okay, what it is that they want. But that doesn't mean that you allow yourself to be swayed, okay, by the piss poor negative energy. Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. All right. Psalms 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Okay, we know that. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. First Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxieties or your cares upon him, because he cares for you. Okay. There you go. Cast your cares upon the greater here. Let me see. Okay, here's another one. What did I put in? Okay, while the Bible does not use exact phrase, dream infiltration, of course, it addresses dreams that are troubling or potentially misleading here. That is the purpose, for you to be misled. Key verses include Deuteronomy 13:1-3, which warns against following dreamers of dreams who lead people away from God. This is to lead you away from yourself. We just read that, to cause you to get in your business, being nosy, to cause you fear, cause you distress, cause you torment, to manipulate you, to manipulate your waking decisions, so on and so forth. Okay, I don't care what the fuck you say in a dream. I don't give a fuck what you do in a dream. Whatever. Okay, you will wake up when you're going to wake up. Like you say, wake the fuck up. So what? Okay. Job 7:14, where Job cries out, hold on, you scare me with dreams. Okay, and Jeremiah 23:32, which speaks against those who prophesied lying dreams to mislead the people. These verses emphasize the importance of discerning the source of dreams and holding fast to God's word and truth. Okay, consider the fucking source. You know what you're going through. You know what the people are doing to you. You know they're bothering you. You know they're doing witchcraft on you. You know they, all of that. Moving the fuck on. You wake up, you live your life. Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. Okay, conquering fear. Once again, which is, so like I said, the next chapter is called A Dream Sheds Light on Fear. When I woke up and I saw that, I said, maybe I should read from the book today, this morning. I wasn't going to. When I saw that, I said, well, isn't that interesting? It falls right in line with this right here. Janice, let's call her, kept a kennel for cats. People who were going on vacation bought their cats, and she took care of them. She loved cats and built very big cages for them. Her business cards had mottos like "We love cats" or "Love is," there it is. Love is everything. Perfect love casts out fear. Okay. The kennel gave the cats, and I'm not talking when I say that there are people out there who y'all think that, but I'm not talking about loving these people who are doing these things to you. I say them love and light. I don't. I'm not sending you anything. I ain't gonna send you love and light. I ain't gonna send you hate and dogs. I'm not gonna send you shit. You don't deserve anything from me. Like people say, don't give me energy. Okay. But understand what that means. And people say that, have an ear to hear what is really being said. Don't address it. No, you absolutely should, if you feel led to. And you don't feel any guilt or shame about addressing the foolishness. Okay. But if it's like, I'm not going to send you love and light. I'm not going to send you hate and darkness. I'm not going to send you anything. You don't deserve anything from me. You're trying to take something from me. You're trying to take my love. You're trying to take my light. You're trying to take everything about me and who I am, what I am. That will never be. Okay. So when love is everything, love of self first. The kennel gave the cats, love people. Okay. Now, the manual may say that. If you do, I don't agree. And I am able to not agree. Okay. But you love those who are trying to demolish you and destroy you. Okay. And try to make you look bad and talk about you and really believe in their hearts and mind that they have some kind of influence over your life. They don't. The kennel gave the cats a lot of space and a lot of freedom. The cats were happy. They were happy to go home when their owners came back, or they would have been happy to stay. Life was pretty good for the cats, except for one cat named Busy. Busy was a good cat, but whenever Janice would walk out of the room, Busy would begin to cry. Cats can really make a racket if they decide to cry, like some people crying to God. No one would stand it when Busy cried and cried and cried. By about the 5th day, Janice's roommates were going crazy with the noise. Oh, okay. Where am I at? They go out to eat just to have some peace and quiet, but the cats were stuck. Blessed little love remained in this once peaceful refuge. What could Janice do? Soon, even she lost patience, a surprise because Janice is a heart person full of love. But Busy's crying had shattered all peace and harmony. Finally, she turned the matter over to the Mahanta, the inner side of myself. That's what Mahanta is. Mahanta, she said, I can't do anything. If you or any of the other masters can help, please do something. The cat's driving me out of my mind. That night, Janice had a dream. Now, you don't know Mahanta and all that, the inner side of oneself, okay? God, you just can't say God, whatever word for you. That night, Janice had a dream. In her dream, she saw one of the masters who takes a special interest in animals. This master came up to Busy, picked up the cat, and began petting it. As he petted the cat, a golden heart appeared on Busy's chest. Busy loved the attention and quieted down. All this happened on the inner planes in the dream state. The inner worlds of dreams are as real as this outer physical world, and there's a definite connection between them. Sometimes if things aren't working right out here, instead of enduring years of karma and trouble, you can get things back on track via a dream. But it takes certain knowledge to reach the inner worlds, okay? It says it takes certain knowledge to reach the inner world. Here's how. Now they have some things here. Sing the love song to God. Knowledge. Some of the scriptures we just read, knowledge. Okay. Knowledge of self. Your inner world, who you are. Knowledge of self. Okay. In due course, the inner world will take you to the other worlds. It may give you an experience where you can gain an insight either to change your outer conditions or improve your inner self. Sometimes such an adjustment in the inner world is all that's required to make things work better in the physical world. Soon other masters appeared in her dream. Busy was happily running back and forth from one master to another, enjoying all the attention and petting. Another master who used to serve in Tibet picked Busy up. Busy, let's go for a little walk, he said, and he took the cat to a dark cave that was nearby. When they came to the entrance, this master said, Busy, this is a cave, and we're going inside. It's very important for you to see and understand what this cave means to you. They walked on the inside and saw a deep pit. The master explained that the cat had walked by such a pit on the physical plane in a previous life, fallen into it, and cried to get out. No one could hear its cries deep in the cave, so the cat perished. Knowledge of self. Okay. The terror had stayed with the cat into this present life. It was a source of Busy's fear of being left alone. As the master explained it to the cat, the golden heart on Busy's chest began to shine, casting light about them. How would you like to explore the cave? In other words, explore the source of your fear. These people who do these things, they are sent here to assist you on your journey. Okay. Busy became like an ordinary cat, very inquisitive. They walked through the cave, and the light of God came through the golden heart and lit up the pitfalls, holes, and other dangers. The next morning, when Janice went to see Busy in the kennel, the cat was quiet. She had seen in her dream what happened to the cat on the inner planes, and from that time on, Busy never had the crying problem again. The masters had brought about a spiritual healing, no small thing to accomplish with the cat anyway. Busy's old karma was gone. The inner master can meet you in your dreams, speak to you, and give you all the spiritual direction you need. Okay. So here, knowledge of self. If you feel that when these things are done to you and these people come in with a dream infiltration to be nosy or to try to find out something about you and try to get you to tell them all your whole life and your business and all of that type of thing, and you feel as though it is going to affect your waking decisions, that's when you go in that deep cave. What is that deep cave? Okay, self, within, before you move based on something, some energy outside of you that is trying to manipulate your life in your world. All right. Okay. The other thing I was going to talk about, we'll do at a later time. Saying that man in that state was not something that it was talked about in the dream between me and another person. Like, it was just, I really don't know how to describe it. But it was more so the person's true self, his true self, Philippe's true self, not the mask that he wears and the bravado and the bully energy and all of that, okay, that he's put out to the world. No, it was the true self, and it was not. I'm trying to think of a word here. It was kind of, well, it wasn't positive. I'll put it like that. Okay. So whether the intention was there or not, here it is that you have shown yourself. Okay. While you're trying to come into my world to find out about me and who I am, trying to get into my head to try to destroy me. Okay. Thinking that you're going to find out something about me from me, okay, to try to destroy me, to try to hurt me and bring me down and all of that type of thing and make me hate myself and not love myself. That will never be. Okay. But here it is, the truth of your being is being shown. Okay. And it's something that, you need to focus on yourself, not me. Okay. And this is something I told you years ago. I'm pretty sure when I was texting you, I'm pretty sure I told you at some point, you need to stop. Okay. I'm pretty sure I did. All right. Nevertheless, and it's not even something I want to see. Not something I revel in, not something I laugh at. I don't even want to see. I don't care about you or nor your life. Who you are, who you become, who you're trying to become, okay, what you will become, none of that. Okay. But you insist that I do. Okay. To win something. Okay. I don't know, Bree, something was on your fucking eyeball that you maybe, I don't know if it's actually something that looked like a bump on your eyeball. You need to get that shit checked out. Hold on, let me see something. I'm not talking about on the skin here or around him. I'm talking about the actual eyeball. Okay. Um, Maybe this is what it is. I'm seeing Pingukula. Never heard that before. If this is it. Now on here, this is yellow. and it's not that big. Okay. Yours was white, like the eyeball, and it was big. Okay. It says it's a harmless yellowish raised growth on the eyeball. It's thought to be caused by exposure to the sun, wind, and dust. Besides the bump, most people don't have any symptoms, but some people say it irritates the eyes. Okay. Uh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was on the conjunctiva, which is the clear membrane that covers the white part of your eye. Okay, it typically forms on the inner side of your eyeball, close to your nose, but it sometimes appears on the other side too. They're common and harmless growths. They form after a long time of exposure to the elements. We just read that. They contain protein, fat, or calcium deposits. They don't go away and may grow a little over time. They usually don't cause problems, but some say they irritate the eyes. All right, so it doesn't look like it's dangerous. Okay. It says it may grow more aggressively and may be prone to irritation. Um, what you can't get, it says factors if not taken care of, dry eye disease, whatever the hell that is. Okay. It can keep growing until it turns to a different growth called a tertium, which is more aggressive of what that is. All right. But nevertheless, okay, it can grow across your cornea, affecting your vision. Okay. You can get some teardrops, artificial teardrops, okay, or maybe a prescription or whatever. I don't know if you actually have that, if you're going to have that, or if it just seems, or if it represents something. But bitch, check that out, okay? Leave me the fuck alone. All right, you all have favor. Peace. Have a great day, and be blessed. Peace.